Regionally, several obstacles separate Comesa from its vision of prosperity through integration and industrialization. We have a few sectors where value addition is entrenched, and we need to expand the areas where we add value to our primary products. Additionally, weak regulatory frameworks, rampant non-tariff barriers, and weak technological capacity contribute to our underperformance in value addition and therefore in trade. Consequently, our economies remain vulnerable to global price volatility, affecting our primary product exports. In turn, this severely constricts our space to pursue the structural transformation of our economies and to achieve SDGs. To overcome this handicap, we have a historic opportunity to join forces in building the capacity of every player along the value chain, especially as regards ability to comply with competitive standards and to harmonize our standards and regulatory frameworks. In so doing, we will enhance the competitiveness of our products and enable them to penetrate regional and international markets. And Comesa should be able to provide the building blocks for us to ultimately build the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Mr. President, in the last 4 months, I have sent a special envoy to 15 countries, amongst them Egypt, from Egypt to South Africa, because we need to consolidate the market around East African Community, SADC, and Comesa. We are remaining with a few signatures. I think only 3 countries need to sign in so that we can consolidate this market into the TFTA that will give us 720 million people with a GDP of 1.3 trillion, and we can create a huge market that can be competitive with other markets globally. Your Excellencies, time is of the essence. We need to persuade the few countries that are remaining so that we can actualize this market, eliminate unnecessary non-tariff barriers, eliminate unnecessary tariffs that are already built in our tax regimes, so that we can trade more within our region. There is absolutely no justification for us in Africa to remain at 17% of intra-African trade when others are at 70%. There is no justification. It is not wise, it is not intelligent, it is not right. Our Energy Transport and Communications Infrastructure Development Program embraces ambitious green commitments and explicitly pursue ecologically responsive climate resilience and environmental sustainability as integral parameters of progress. We have found many partners for our green agenda and investors, as well as other development partners, to complement our efforts to mainstream and institutionalize green investment. Our sense of urgency in this matter is informed by reports from the United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP, that to fulfill the SDG by 2030 and the net zero aspirations by 2050, the world must invest approximately US $6.9 trillion annually in the necessary, sustainable, resilient infrastructure. On trade, the combined population of Comesa member states at 580 million, with a GDP of US $768 billion, is a tremendous opportunity. The potential for intra-Comesa trade is simply enormous, and the demand for value-added products is bound to keep growing well into the future. Value-adding offers higher returns, incentivizes industrialization, enhances productivity, deepens technological advancement, increases high-quality jobs, bolsters wealth creation, and promotes competitiveness. There is a very strong case for us in Comesa to shift away from primary production, especially of agricultural commodities, to industrial manufacturing across all sectors. I listened to you, Mr. President, and you spoke to this subject. We cannot continue as a continent to be a continent that exports primary products. Our contribution as a continent to international trade is only 3%, in a case where we contribute close to 18% of the world population at the moment. Our intra-Africa trade is only at 17%, while others, whether it is in Europe, it is at 70%, in Asia, it is at 60%, in other areas, it's at 40%. In Africa, it's only at 17%. It speaks to the huge opportunity that we have for intra-Africa trade, and that is why I agree with you that we should eliminate the borders that act as barriers for trade, for movement of people, for movement of goods, and for movement of services. The entire world, ladies and gentlemen, is saddled with enormous and intertwined economic, geopolitical, and climate crises, which have exerted enormous adverse impact on our continent and also our region. These evolving crises were catalyzed by the COVID-19 pandemic, with uniquely devastating consequences on our economies. Although we are now fully embarked on the path to normalcy, we have the singular opportunity to act collectively in crafting effective strategies for accelerating recovery and deepening resilience to anchor sustainable policies, mechanisms, and frameworks. Green investment is one area of unexplored opportunity to resolutely pursue socio-economic development, incorporating ecologically sound and environmentally responsible practices. Our progress in achieving sustainable development goals will increasingly depend on enhanced investment in infrastructure and assets that are necessary for rapid economic growth, but environmentally friendly and resilient to climate impacts. The aim, of course, is to achieve overall reduction in emissions, enhance energy and resource efficiency, develop facilities that can withstand extreme climatic pressure, and avert loss of biodiversity and critical ecosystems. Kenya has made bold commitments to pursue green investment throughout the country and to incorporate ecologically sustainability into the implementation of every policy program and project. This way, we shall be constantly vigilant to opportunities to implement initiatives ranging from solid waste management to agroforestry as urgent strategic investments. The Africa Union Agenda 2063 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, as well as Comesa strategic objectives, have been incorporated into Kenya's National Transformation Agenda to empower us to pursue opportunities locally and further have afield coherently, consistently, efficiently, and effectively. We have also positioned Kenya and are championing for the radical repositioning of Africa as the clean, green, young continent of the future in order to exploit the opportunities arising from global transition to green industrialization and to transform the challenges posed by climate crisis into opportunities to lead the next industrial revolution from Africa. We are therefore deeply committed to Comesa's vision of prosperity through integration. Our theme for the 22nd Comesa Summit resonates very well with Kenya, especially our aspiration for radical national transformation. The promotion of green investment to power a zero-carbon global industrial order is a priority. Through robust policy, we have taken positive measures to construct an investment climate that attracts high-quality global capital to our economy and to promote a business environment that encourages value addition and secondary manufacturing. I therefore commend the Secretariat and the organizers for their work in arranging this summit and for identifying this theme to highlight important development agendas and to anchor our deliberations. Travel and tourism contributes US dollars 20.8 million to the economies of Comesa member states, representing 42.5% of our total service exports, translating to 9% of our GDP and accounting for almost 10% of total employment. Even at this level of contribution, there remains huge untapped potential for tourism in our region, which demands an integrated approach. To exploit this potential, we must pay closer attention to existing tourism market opportunities, especially in terms of such niche tourism sectors as in agriculture, construction, education, fishing, manufacturing, sports, creative art, transport, utilities, and other services. I say this as somebody who has sampled some of the tourism opportunities in our continent. I think it was 2017, I came to see the mighty Zambezi, Livingstone. I stayed in Livingstone for a week, and I can confirm that Zambia is amazing. I was in Namibia to see the sand dunes in Namibia. I have been to Egypt to see the Great Pyramids. Africa is simply amazing. And we have huge tourism opportunities and potential. The only challenge is that it is segmented. We need to synergize our tourism product so that those who travel to our continent can sample our tourism products across national boundaries. And it begins with us as Africans putting our tourism destinations as number one. Before you imagine going to Dubai or going to somewhere in the US, please imagine going to somewhere in Africa. We have great tourism potential. Further, it is imperative for us to liberalize the service industry by pursuing accelerated conclusion of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area negotiations on trade in services. That is business, communication, financial, transport, energy, and tourism, in order to facilitate the growth of tourism and accelerate the expansion of the Comesa economy. I also believe that we can be much bolder and fully embrace the spirit of integration and the unity of our people and configure a regime of modular tourism packages, which entail complementary products in different countries designed to spread value throughout the region and offer an incomparable experience to all our visitors. This is exactly what I was saying. I thank the Secretariat for directing our attention to these important matters and facilitating a highly rewarding and long overdue conversation on the opportunities we can unlock through joint effort. More than ever, I am convinced that we have an unprecedented opportunity to transform Comesa one sector at a time and to lead our people to prosperity in a region defined by opportunity, by unity, and most importantly, by collaboration. As I thank President Sisi, I also take this special moment to extend my warmest congratulations and Kenya's best compliments to the President of Zambia, the incoming chair of Comesa Authority. I recognize and appreciate his continued devotion to the effective integration of our region. I also commend him for offering to host the 22nd Comesa Summit. The Africa Union's Agenda 2063. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for welcoming us, and congratulations on the assignments that have been given to you today by Comesa. As I thank President Sisi, I also take this special moment to extend my warmest congratulations and Kenya's best compliments to the President of Zambia, the incoming chair of Comesa Authority. I recognize and appreciate his continued devotion to the effective integration of our region. I also commend him for offering to host the 22nd Comesa Summit. The Africa Union's Agenda 2063. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for welcoming us, and congratulations on the assignments that have been given to you today by Comesa.